Hello everyone, my name is Hal, this is Coil Studios Guitar. Welcome, and we are live, and we are working. Right here, we're going to help you to find out a little bit about Toby Keith's song, Should Have Been a Cowboy. We're also going to talk about the G major scale, and the G chord, and the D chord, and the C chord, and we talked about that, what was it, about a month ago, on January 11th. And let's see who I've got here. I've got Dean here, I've got Dwayne here, and Bob. Thank you, Bob, for helping us out today. If you can see the live chat, see what Bob said right there. Okay, that's pretty funny. All right, let's get right into it. Unfortunately, 3 days ago, today is February 8th. On February 5th, Toby Keith passed away, and that was a little sad. It's always a drag when we have certain artists passing away because they're getting older. And so I remember playing and teaching Should Have Been a Cowboy back in the 1990s. It came out in 1993. Bob, you let me know if it sounds good out there. Hello, GFJ. Hello, hello. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk a little bit about these chords. Let's look at the chords right here. I'll put them on the screen. We have a G chord. I like to play the G chord like this. Just like that. And also we have a C chord. And we have a D chord. Now I like to play these chords in this song like this. I'll take the chords off the screen and you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So I play the G chord like this. I don't worry about using my second finger right there. I don't really love that doubled B note when it comes out like that. So I mute that A string. And then what I do is I take that ring finger and I move it back to the second fret, drop my second finger on the G string like that, and then my pinky right here. And use these three fingers for my D chord because it's really quick to go from G to D. Oops. There we go. It's a little easier than picking everything up and flipping things around like that. Now, if you can't play that right away with your pinky like this, then the way to do it is to try a D7 chord. And it's very possible that you already know how to do a D7 chord. And you play a D7 like this. First finger right there on the B string. Second and third fingers like that. And then just drop your pinky in like that. Oops, wrong string. Drop it right into the B string right there. And you've got your D7. Your D7 to a D. Now what happens is that you have your G chord, goes over to a D, and then this finger can just be right there on that first fret B string and go to the C chord. So from C to D, with this fingering, it makes it a lot easier. How many of you in the chat, how many of you can play your D chord like that? Now what's interesting about this song, Should Have Been a Cowboy by Toby Keith, is that there's only three chords in the whole song. G, D, C, D, just like that. And I'm going to play it just in a minute here. What happens here is, oh, give me a like if you like what I'm doing. What happens is if you okay, there's a timing that we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk a little bit about our right hand and what we do here, and we're going to talk about the difference between the verse and the chorus, and we're going to talk a little bit about the introduction, because there's a little thing on the introduction that goes like this. Let's see if I can figure out how to go. just sounds like that because these two notes are really high. But you could play it down here like this. For the introduction. But you know what? You can make it actually easier than that. I'm playing a G note right there on the D string, 5th fret, and then the G open to the 3rd fret right there on the B string. But if you can play the, you can actually play the G string twice. Yes, Joseph, Bob is the moderator. Isn't he great? Very good. So that's what we do for the introduction. So you can do this. Oops. Then just like that. So we've got a G chord to a D, C to D, G to D, C to D, and then it goes right into the verse. And I'm going to show you the lyrics and what I've done with the lyrics in just a second. So the timing here is really fun because there's 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to divide it up into 8 sections, eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count it a different way. Let's count it 1, 2, 3, because we're going to be 3 beats on the G, and then 5 beats on the D. So we're going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we do this, we're actually playing that D on the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you can do it just like I'm doing it with just down strums, just like that, or you can do it like this. C add 9. It does sound good. I'll talk about that in just a second, Bob. Obladi oblada. Yeah, is it the same chords as obladi oblada, Joseph? It might be, because it's only 3 chords, right, for obladi oblada. We won't go into that right now because I wasn't prepared for that. But if you can't do that, you got to practice it. Get those chords going back and forth, just like that. Now let me show you what I did with, let me pull up my, right here. Here's the verse. So I'll leave that on the screen for just a second so you can, if you're looking at this later, you can pause it and see what I've done here. You'll notice that I put slashes over certain syllables. I'll bet you never. And then you've got some up arrows right here, like that. And those up arrows mean that all of those words, all of those syllables are on the upbeat. So those slashes are on the downbeat and the up arrow is on the upbeat. Let me make this a little smaller. Let's see if we can move this. That's not going to work. Hold on just a second. That's not it. How do I do this? That's not it. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here so I figure this out. There's something going on here. I'm trying to move. There it is. There it is. That's what I want. I'm going to make this smaller so you can see it off to the side. Put it right there at the screen at the top. I wish I could make that smaller. Huh. Well, I'll have to figure that out later, I guess. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? Right, now I'm using those upbeats. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. What I did was I went through, I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? If I ask you twice and beg you pretty please. See that? You got to figure out where the downbeats are and where those upbeats are so you can play it. Now I didn't put any chords in this. But what happens is if you got to, I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. Okay, so what happens here, I'm going to take this off the screen now. Never, I bet you never heard. So when I'm singing it, what I do is I time and I figure out where is the G chord, where is the D chord, right? I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon. So, what happens is that Marshall Dillon say. The word Marshall comes in on the upbeat. Okay, let's bring that back up just for a second. See that right there? Right there. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. And when I say, then that's the upbeat, and then I hit the D chord right after that. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. See that? So you've got to study where are those upbeats and downbeats. You've got to study when you hit those chords so that you can hit them really well. Now, what I do, this is what I do. I listen to the song over and over and over, a lot. Well, at least enough to get it into my head. And then, what I do, let me pull up my other screen here so I can look at it. So what I do is I get into my head and I get those upbeats and downbeats in my head, and I also get in my head where the chords are. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. Right? Let me get my other paper out here. I've also got it on a piece of paper. It's on my screen, but it's also here. So I'm going to pull it up so I can look at it. So on the verse, that's the way you play the verse. Now when you get to, should have been a cowboy, should have been a lope, should have learned to rope and ride, wearing my 6-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's hearts, just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy. Ooh, right there. That's really cool. So the chorus, what we do is we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that. So it doesn't have any of those upbeat punches. I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope and ride, wearing my 6-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive. Let me put that on the screen so you can see it. I'm going to put that there, and if you want to see, oh, you've already seen that, right? There. There's the chorus right there. Should have been a cowboy. So those slashes means we sing those words or those syllables on those beats, and then the upbeat, cattle. There you go. Let's go to the next one. I'll show you the next one. Here's verse 2, in case you want to look at it. Chorus is exactly the same, so I didn't do anything there. Verse 2, there's your downbeats and upbeats. You can look at that. Pause the video when you get a chance, and you get to see what's going on there. Now I'm going to have this in my book. I guess one of the things I do, I actually, because this to me is so simple, because there's only 3 chords, I don't bother writing the chords out on the lead sheet when I play this, because I know where the chords go. Right? The only thing I really have to know is, especially on that second verse, when it, I might have had a sidekick with a funny name, right? I've got to figure out, where do I start that verse? When do I have a pickup? When do I come in? Do I come in on the upbeat? Do I come in on the downbeat? I might have had a side. Right there, there's a downbeat on had. Sidekick with a funny name, running wild. Right there, running wild. Running wild. Up, down, up. Running wild through hills, chasing Jesse James. Right there. So if you go back and look at that, the verse 2 and those slashes that I made, and then the up arrows, you'll see that I've got things on upbeat and downbeat. That's how I figure it out. Let's see. Joseph says, oh, he gives us the chords for Obladi Oblada. Thank you, Joseph. Maybe we'll do that sometime. Very good. It's in the key of, it looks like it's in the key of G. Only 3 thumbs? I see 7 thumbs up on my page. Maybe if you, Dean, if you reload it, you might see more. Okay, really appreciate you guys. Let's see, what else do I need to do on this? There must be something else I need to talk about. Let me think just for a second here. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, and if you want more stuff like this, subscribe to the channel too. I just came out with a video yesterday about the C major scale, and we talked a little bit about the notes going all the way down to the low E string, all the way up to the 3rd fret on the E string, and we introduced an A minor chord. Now we did this on a live stream too, but I made it more concise on the video that I released yesterday. I will do a video on G major. We're talking about G major today and these chords, right? And so you want to learn those really, really well, and the notes in the G major scale. Right? There's an F sharp in it instead of just a regular F. All right. No, I don't see D can be used instead of B's. D can be used instead of B's. I'm trying to figure out what Joseph means by that comment. I don't know what he means. Maybe he's talking about obladi oblada. Maybe he's talking about the B minor chord. I don't know. But it's not very clear to me. Maybe you'll clarify it, Joseph. Oh yes, let's talk about one more thing. Bob had said something about the C add 9 sounds good too. I saw a video where somebody was teaching this with a G chord like this, where you put the 2nd finger on the B string 2nd fret. Joseph says D can be used instead of B minor and obladi oblada. Okay. So somebody was playing and leaving these 2 fingers right here. This is a G chord. If you leave this A string out of it, the B note right there on the 2nd fret, it's a G5. It sounds really good. You could do it like that. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, one thing I don't like about this is if I go all the way through the D chord like that and have that G note right there, then it's actually a G sus4, and I don't really like that because it's not a G sus4 in the song. I bet you never heard of. Now if I do this and don't hit that E string, and I keep my finger there but just don't hit it, then it's okay. And then you can play a C9 like this, excuse me, a C add 9, which is like this. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open G string, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. I'm calling them out from the A string up to the E string. Then you don't have to move so much. I think it sounds better with those chords. Let's see. I guess if you use the chord like this, your D chord like that, and then go to your C9, C add 9, just a regular D chord. That would be a way to do it too. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say. That'll work. That's cool. I like it. Not bad. Maybe you could do that instead of. I guess it depends on if you want this sound or this sound. I do like that C add 9 with that D in there, that D note on the 3rd fret, B string with the G5. Any other suggestions from the people in the chat? From the Peanut Gallery? All right. Very good. I like this song. I really do. And it's sad that Toby Keith passed away 3 days ago. But, you know, we're all going to be here for a short amount of time, and then we're gone. So I hope we do things that are good and that help other people and that change lives. That's what I'm here for. Help you get better guitar players. Okay, Dwayne. Thank you very much for your comment. A lot of Cowboy songs plays with pinky and ring planted, 3rd and fret, B and G chord just moving 2 other fingers, Joseph says. Yeah, that's true. Yep, you can play it any way you want, actually, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, remember what I said last time? Was it last time or a few weeks ago? If it sounds good, it is good. Yes. And that's true. So if it sounds good to you, then do it. Should have been a cowboy. Yeah, we should have been cowboys. Cowboys, that, okay, let's go back to just like Gene and Roy. I think that's Gene Autry, who was called the cowboy. Well, he was like a cowboy singer. And Roy Clark, I would believe that's Roy Clark. He did, let's see, he was on Hee Haw from 1969 until 1990 something. I think I read 1997. Was it really that late? I don't know. I wasn't watching TV very much after about 1976. So I don't know. Yep, he says. Okay, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to go hang out with my supporters. If you want to know how to become a supporter, then go to in the description, and you can see how to donate in PayPal or Patreon. Or if you don't like Patreon, then you can go to Subscribestar. Email me at lessonswithhal@gmail.com. And we can connect. I've already connected with all these guys that are on the chat today. And you can too. There's Gerald Hemming. Hello. Roy Rogers? Could have been Roy Rogers. Could have been Roy Rogers. So who was it? Let's have a vote. Was it Roy Clark or Roy Rogers? Or both? Because it could have been. You know, I thought, Gerald, the first person I thought of was Roy Rogers. But then I was thinking, well, maybe since he's talking about singing those campfire songs, maybe he was talking about, did Roy Rogers sing? I don't know if Roy Rogers sang. But I know the other Roy did, right? Roy Clark. I mean, he was famous. Okay. Put it in there and let us know. Okay. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate all you guys. Rogers and Dale Evans. Oh, yeah. Bob says. So, yeah, he did. Okay, good. He did sing. That's what Bob says. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to go. Okay, hope you don't mind. And we'll see you later, okay? The Singing Cowboy. See you guys later. Adios.